Lads, what have we got to do to get this Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones fight? I'll tell you what we've got to do. We got to get Tom Aspinall in the mainstream media. He's been on Piers Morgan lately, and he's just went on the Logan Paul podcast. And as much as Logan Paul is an absolute div pot, he has got a massive platform. And this has given massive exposure to Tom Aspinall and the narrative around this Jon Jones fight. And it's already amassed 400,000 views in 24 hours. That's quite big. And on this podcast, they go deep on the Jon Jones fight. When is it going to happen? Is Jon Jones scared of Tom Aspinall? And then when they fight, I'm staying pretty optimistic that this fight is going to happen. When they fight, who's Tom Aspinall going to fight after that? Well, it's a really big super fight, which is very interesting, so we'll get into it. Guys, if you like this type of content, you know what to do. Drop a like on the video. It's the easiest way to give me feedback on if you like it or not. We're going to dive into this, but pay close attention to how well Tom Aspinall comes across. He does himself really good justice on this podcast.
You have the shortest average fight time in UFC history at 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yep. That's good.
How would we know if you can go?
I don't. It's a mystery for everybody. You know what I absolutely love? It's one of my favorite things about my style is that nobody knows anything about me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we're going to get to some Jon Jones conversations at some point. Jon is a massive studier of his opponents. Yeah, he's a massive tape studier. Like, that's one of the things that he does best. And the tapes are just not really out there of me. I think some people see it like as a detriment living in the UK away from here. For me personally, I think it's amazing because, like, when I go to Vegas and training, like, I see how intertwined everybody is with each other's business and stuff. And like, I'm out here and I'm just doing my own thing and nobody knows anything about me, and I love it.
You don't think he's got any spies out, MI5 type people?
Nope.
That are watching the camps, studying.
I don't think so.
Taking secret GoPro videos and shit.
I mean,
that.
there might be.
Pigeons.
Maybe.
I never thought of that perspective before. Jon does study his opponents in great detail, and Tom Aspinall's probably got the shortest amount of footage out there to learn from. Now, Jon, being the high IQ fighter that he is, I'm sure he already has got his game plan set, ready to go. As soon as that $30 million contract is signed, he knows exactly what he's got to work on. But Tom does have a bit of that X factor, and I might get some hate for saying this, but that's why going into this fight, I'm probably going to favour Tom Aspinall, to be honest. As we get closer, I'll do a more detailed breakdown as to why I think that way. But here, Mike Majalalak, I don't know how to say his second name, Magic Mike, asks Tom Aspinall if he thinks Jon Jones is scared of him.
Let's ask this question right now for the clip. Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the thing with Jon is conning the public, man.
Whoa. And Logan Paul, it's his favorite fighter.
Yeah. Oh, is it really?
Well,
yeah. Listen.
I mean, he's definitely top three. He's definitely top three.
Absolutely. I'm not disputing that he's an amazing fighter. I think the fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year. And he just, the way he manipulates the media and the public is super smart. I'm not taking anything away from him. But do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely.
Can you understand that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can.
You can empathize with that?
I respect it. But if you're going to ask me the straight up question, is Jon Jones afraid to fight me? The honest answer would be yes.
Love that answer. Very professional. That's one thing I love about Tom Aspinall is you can tell he's mature. He's very self-aware. He's not sitting there saying, Jon Jones is scared to fight me. He's a crap fighter. And then that's it. No, he's expanded on his point a little bit and saying, look, I understand it. He's getting a little bit older. It's a lot of risk for him to take. And I think Tom understands that if he was in Jon Jones's position, he'd probably think the same. It takes being a smart man with a lot of intelligence and self-awareness to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. That's a trait that a lot of people don't really have. I've learned that in business myself. A lot of people out there cannot put themselves in someone else's shoes and then look at things through their perspective. And that's usually down to ego. So Tom is coming across like a guy who's got his ego in check, but he also knows how good he is himself. Right, so Mike asks Tom, is this fight even happening?
Regardless of that and that fear, because clearly he's overcome it at times in the past, is that fight fucking happening?
I cannot say or deny. No, right now we're actually waiting for news. We have had to do, I'm chasing it up. Like the UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I'm chasing it all the time. I want the fight really bad. You know what? It's not even, like, I see people online saying, like, you know, the thing that happened with Conor and Chandler.
Yeah.
People are like, don't be like Michael Chandler. Listen, it's not about the fighting John. It's about the UFC heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Like I've got a version of the title, but I want to be the undisputed champion. That's all it is. It doesn't matter about John. I'm trying to be the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing one fight. If I can fight John and get the biggest scalp in MMA, absolutely I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? And it's a great time for me because he is slowing down a little bit and I've not even reached my prime yet. So
Spoken like a true A-side right there.
I mean, I'm not the A-side. I'm not going to start pretending that I am. That guy's going to get $30 million to fight me. He's definitely the A-side, but I definitely think it's a fight that I can win.
Once again, more self-awareness from Tom saying, I'm not the A-side. He's the one who's getting 30 million. A lot of fighters, a lot of men just wouldn't be able to admit that. They'd be like, no, I'm the A-side. And then they try and drum up some stupid low IQ argument as to why they are the A-side. Tom could have easily have said there, I've got the lowest average fight time. I'm the young, hungry lion. I'm the interim champion. I've defended me belt. I'm fighting frequently. I'm on the come up. I've got my YouTube channel that's pulling in 5-10 million views a month. Me social media's popping. He could have said all this stuff that makes him seem like the A-side, but he didn't. He knows his place. But Tom doesn't care about all that. He wants to unify the belts, and he thinks he's got a damn good shot at doing so. I just love the realness, guys. Comment below if you'd agree. Right now, Tom comments on Jon Jones's steroids and drug use. If Jon Jones is watching this, he's gonna be fuming. He's gonna be hating Tom Aspinall's guts. He already doesn't like him.
When he came back against Surreal,
Yeah.
you watched that fight?
Yeah.
Were you surprised at how good he still was after all these years?
No.
And moving up to heavyweight?
No, you know what? I think John, like you said, I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Definitely top 3. That's debatable when you start putting in about drug tests and stuff like that, I think.
Damn.
But he definitely, like skill for skill, he's one of the top 3 fighters ever. I'm not debating that at all.
What drug are you talking about specifically?
Well, he's done a few. I think he's done a few.
I can't tolerate the Jon Jones slander, bro. It was a fluke.
It was a
It's a recreational, he has fun.
Is slander not when you're saying something that's inaccurate?
That is true.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's the definition of it.
No.
It is.
Somebody
it is
Google
slander.
that's libel. Think?
No, I think slander, the definition is that you've said something that's not
I
true.
thought it's basically
when you say something
when
that's
you're publicly
true,
saying, and
you're,
it's true.
you're in the clear.
John, buddy, I'm trying. I'm trying, bro. I ran into him at the inauguration. Such a nice guy. Also, just proper bloke.
Now, I didn't catch this at first, but watching this back again, Logan Paul was defending the definition of slander. So slander, the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation. What Tom said here was not slander, it was the truth. Jon Jones has had a lot of trouble in the past with drug use. The reason why Logan Paul is defending that statement is because Logan is suing Dylan Dennis for all the tweets that Dylan put up about Logan's wife. But nothing that Dylan put up wasn't true. He was just sharing images of Logan Paul's wife with other men. That's not really the definition of slander because he hasn't really said anything that's false. Maybe we got some lawyers in the comments and you can correct me. Right, so this is where they transition to talking about the fight that's going to come after this Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall fight. I do think we're jumping the gun here a little bit.
Dana, news as of 8 hours ago, is already talking about the fight that comes after it. He's saying basically that the winner is going to fight Padeda.
I like it. I love it.
Who is a scarier opponent for you, Alex or John?
I think that's a tough question. You know what? Even though I might be saying all this stuff about John or whatever, I am not disputing his skills. He's
it doesn't sound like it.
Unbelievable.
It doesn't sound like it.
The same with Alex. One of the most dangerous guys, in my opinion, to ever fight in the UFC. He has that, I don't even know what you call it. He just has the thing where he touches you and you just die. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's unbelievable. I've never seen anybody. Does that translate to heavyweight? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
How does his punch resistance look at heavyweight? Because he has been knocked out at middleweight before. But again, you could put that down to cutting weight. Like when you're taking loads of like fluid out your body and away from your brain and stuff, and you're cutting a lot of weight the day before, and you get punched clean. Like that's what he was doing before. So maybe his chin's a little bit better. I don't know.
He's also not been getting hit. He's been so as of these recent fights. He's been
if he does
surgical in some of these past fights.
Yeah,
every shot is landing. The combos are incredible, and it's like he's easily one of the most dangerous fighters in the
absolute
sport
beast.
right now.
He gets hit. He gets hit, but even if he does, it doesn't phase him
Shakes
at
it
all.
off.
Yeah, like at all. He just runs through.
Guess
it
it just depends on what fight.
Man, the
which fight.
first ever 3 division champion would be insane.
It would be. Well, not if he takes my belt. So we'll,
yeah.
if he does it against someone else, that's pretty cool. But if it's against me,
Once again, a little bit of humility there from Tom Aspinall. I've said it many times before, but I don't want to see the Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira fight. I don't even want to see the Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones fight either. I'd love Alex Pereira to just stay at light heavyweight, get back that loss against Magomed Ankalaev, maybe a fight against Dricus du Plessis if du Plessis comes up. I don't think Alex Pereira would go back down to middleweight. I don't even think he could make middleweight anymore. And we all know how these fights would go. Tom would probably smoke Alex Pereira. I just think he's too fast and too big for him. Although Tom said if he did fight Pereira, he'd just take him down. Or if Jon Jones fights him, it's going to be the same. He's just going to take Pereira down and choke him out. So I'm not really too interested in those fights. I want to protect Pereira because he's one of my favourite fighters, and I don't want to see him go on a losing streak just for the sake of these super fights that I don't even think are really necessary. Right, so now they go back to the Jon Jones talk. Tom talks about wanting to be the undisputed, undeniable title holder, and it's not so much about Jon Jones, it's about the belt.
You mentioned it when talking about your title. You said it's a version of the championship.
yeah.
And you know, it is the interim heavyweight championship. Does that bother you? Or can you still feel proud that you are the current UFC heavyweight
you know
champion?
what? I'm currently ranked number 1 in the world, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
But I want to be known as the best. I don't like. See, this is for me. This is where the UFC separates from like boxing, because in boxing you got a million divisions and you got 5 or 6 champions at each weight.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's a world champion. Oh, well, what about this guy? Oh, this guy's a world champion as well. Oh, what about this? Oh, so they've got like 5 champions, and that's a bit weird for me. Like, I think there should be like one face, one name, every division. And I obviously want it to be me, whereas Jon's like doing some weird stuff about it. Like I say, the problem isn't with Jon. The problem is the fact that he's sitting on the belt and not doing anything. To answer your question, I want to be known as the guy at heavyweight, or at least have a shot. You know, like, just give me a shot. Give me the opportunity to do it. And I think I can do it.
How much of it do you think is drawing Jon out, like you personally, versus
I don't
deal size, Dana? Like, is there something you could say right now, like down the pipe, that's gonna get him out of that wherever he is?
I don't think much of it. I think he just wants money, you know. I just think he wants money.
I mean, dude, it's a huge, it's the fight. It is the fight.
I think it's down to him and Dana or whoever else.
Yeah.
Dana loves Jon Jones.
He's trying to grease up his ego a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do. But I think ultimately Jon's just after some money. And fair play. Like, I would be the same.
Well, again, you are a dangerous fight, so it has to be worth it if it doesn't
Definitely.
go his way. You know, that he can still walk home and be like, damn, I just made, you know, X million dollars and I feel fine.
Yeah.
So as Tom said, it's nothing personal against Jon Jones. It's just the fact that Jon is holding up the belt and he's not really doing anything with it. Tom just wants to unify the belts. He also said a few minutes ago that people are comparing him to Michael Chandler, the way Michael Chandler was waiting for Conor McGregor. I think that's an unfair assessment. These are 2 completely different scenarios. Michael Chandler was waiting for Conor McGregor because he wanted the big money fight. Conor McGregor isn't a champion. Tom Aspinall wants to fight Jon Jones and is waiting for Jon Jones because Jon is the champion. What other options has Tom got right now? Defend his interim title again? He's already done it once. That's not meant to happen. In fact, has that ever happened? Someone defending an interim title 2 times, 3 times, waiting for the undisputed champion to come back? I can't remember that happening. You guys refresh my memory if I'm wrong. But anyway, that shouldn't happen. You need to unify it. And it was reported the other day from Ariel Helwani that Jon Jones needs 6 months to prepare for this fight. Friggin' hell, Jon. Tom said in one of his recent videos that they were just waiting on Jon to sign the $30 million contract and set a date, and that they were targeting summertime, but it's looking like it's going to be more towards the end of the year now. So Tom's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs waiting for Jon Jones. Now, a problem that Tom might encounter if Jon Jones just retires and then Tom is made the undisputed champion, a lot of people out there will have the narrative that he's not the real champion because he didn't beat the guy, he didn't take the belt off the undisputed champion. Kind of like Daniel Cormier back in the day in the light heavyweight division. People were saying, well, he's not really a champion because he didn't beat Jon Jones. So this is a little narrative that you run into, and I think the best way to combat that narrative is if you are granted the undisputed title, then you've just got to defend it a good few times, enough for people to forget that you didn't actually take it off the reigning undisputed champion. So it's a little bit of a stupid narrative, but that's just MMA for you. But that's that. Big shout out to Tom, by the way. He really come across well in this interview. I suggest you go and watch the full interview. He's very well spoken, quite charismatic, down to earth. He's seems like the type of lad who you could just go for a pint with, and that's how I measure someone's character by. Could I actually sit there for a few hours with someone, have a bevy, and just chill and talk to them like you've known them for years? I think Tom's that guy, so I'm really hoping that he gets this Jon Jones fight. I hope he gets a fat payday, and I hope he wins. If you liked this video, don't subscribe. What I actually recommend you do is watch a few of my other videos first. I don't really like it when people just see one video of mine and subscribe. I'd rather you watch a few to see if you're going to like the channel. Close to 200,000 subscribers now, so if you want to get a little bit more of a feel for my videos and what we do here on this channel, then YouTube recommends that you should watch this. And if you've seen that already, then here's a random one I picked out for you. Take your pick, and I'll see you tomorrow.